My name is Patricia Pfeiffer. I work for Lufthansa Cargo as the Regulatory Compliance Manager. Lufthansa Cargo operates out of Frankfurt, out of Brussels, out of Vienna, out of Munich. So we have various hubs. We have 340 different destinations worldwide. Last year we moved 1.4 tons of freight via Frankfurt only. So as you can see, a pretty large operation. My main goal is to ensure compliance with any external sanctions and restrictions, of course including internal embargoes, but focus is anything dealing with foreign trade. I started with the company 34 years ago, and even then the first training I had was with TACT. One significant benefit that we have is because of diversity and the heterogeneous market that we serve, 340 destinations. You have to consider import, transit, export regulations. We don't have just one transit hub, we have several, and in 3 different countries. And that just makes it incredibly difficult to try to adhere to every set of rules. Considering that also the transit markets, Vienna, Austria, and Germany, even they have different regulations, even though they're in the EU. So it's just very, very complex. And I think that's where TACT plays a major role. I've learned it from day one. I think everybody that's been with cargo this long has always known TACT. Before we were able to implement a tool to check external sanctions, which is something that we did years ago, we relied heavily on internal embargoes and anything that was published in TACT. TACT for us is one of the pillars that we use for embargo sanction checks, and safety, security, governmental regulations, all of that is encompassed there. We heavily rely on our shippers and our forwarders to use TACT. The reality is the last line of defense is the airline, and also because we control the booking. So therefore, even if the shipper maybe did his homework, if we choose to rebook the shipment via another hub, rules may and regulations may change. That's where TACT comes into play, especially for us. It's an integral part of the acceptance process. Basically, if you've done your homework and you've checked your embargoes and you have a booking, you can assume the product is okay for the routing, and now you have to look at the specialities that go with that product. And I think that's worth mentioning with TACT is it's incredibly helpful when you have a product or a piece of freight that you're transporting that is not normal. I mean, if it's general cargo, everybody knows what they can do. But if you're confronted with something that you don't have every day, TACT definitely helps. I think it'd be helpful if all carriers used it consistently, maybe the way we did, so that we don't have the discussions with some customers, well, you're much stricter than others. No, we're adhering to, to the rules and regulations that are out there.